Charles Ebuka is an incredibly talented academy prospect at Derby County who's really shown his capabilities during pre-season. Now obviously, unfortunately, he picked up a big injury at the start of the season which meant that it's kept him out for up to 6 weeks. Now as it stands today, he's still not back in training, but he is just 3 or 4 weeks away as of time of recording. And for me, there's a massive situation with Charles Ebuka where Derby County absolutely have to get it right. Now, in my opinion, he's shown more promise at this age than Dejon Brown had done at that age at the same time. And it's going to be interesting to see how this sort of battle between the two academy prospects develops across the course of the season. Now, with Dejon Brown heading on loan to Port Vale, what will the plan be for Charles Ebuka? Now, there's many different things that could happen for Derby County and many different ways which they could play this across the course of this video. I'm going to take a look at all of them, including loan moves, including keeping him within the B team, giving him first team opportunities. And I'm going to let you know what I think is the right thing for Derby County to do. Now, you can obviously let me know your thoughts on that as well down in the comments. And if you have not done so already, make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button and turn on that notification bell. Make sure you check out CD Keys, Kitbag and NordVPN down in the description. CD Keys will probably be labelled as loaded as they're currently undergoing a rebrand. But shall we get into it? Head on over to raffle.com, linked down in the description, so that you can get yourselves into the raffle to win 2 Derby County home tickets or a 2025-26 DCFC kit of your choice. Tickets start at just £1 per ticket with a range of different bundles available to you where you can buy 2 tickets, get 2 free, 5 tickets, get 5 free, 10 tickets to get 10 free, and 15 tickets for 15 free. All you need to do is head on over to Derby County's website, get yourself a fan ID. So if you are the winner of this raffle, I can send you over those tickets. And all you have to do is enter a question just a little bit about Jamie Carragher and what club he played at for his entire career. So if you haven't done so already, head on over to raffle.com, linked in the description, so that you can join the raffle for 2 Derby County home tickets or a 2025-26 DCFC kit of your choice. Now, Charles Ebuka was probably one of Derby County's brightest sparks within pre-season, and I think that speaks volumes to the position that Derby County find themselves in, despite the fact that they have a range of attacking talent now on the books. Unfortunately, most of them were injured for pre-season, and that included current forward Carlton Morris. Now, I think Charles Ebuka showed a lot during pre-season. I think he's definitely earned an opportunity within Derby County's first team, but the problem that we see with that is, where does he fit in? You look at the introduction of Patrick Agyemang, you look at Lars-Jørgen Selverson returning to fitness, and I just don't quite see a space for him in that number 9 slot at the moment. You also look at players like Ryan Brewster and Andreas Weimann, who can slot in as a second striker if needs be. And I think it makes it really, really difficult to see Charles Ebuka getting those first team opportunities with Derby County across the course of this season, unless he puts in some outrageous performances. Now, don't get me wrong, I think he showed enough in pre-season to show that he deserves to be in that first team picture. But ultimately, when you spend 6 or 7 million on a striker by the name of Patrick Agyemang, you spend whatever we spent on Carlton Morris and obviously about £900,000 on Lars-Jørgen Selverson, you're not going to put an academy prospect in over them unless they've already made their debut, they've already scored goals and things like that, which Charles Ebuka hasn't done yet at the Championship. So that leaves, in my opinion, Derby County with a huge decision to make. For me, they've got to make a decision on whether they keep Ebuka around the B team and the 21s or they move him on to a non-league loan, because he's not going to be able to do like a League 1 or League 2 loan because the transfer window is going to be closed once he is back fit. Now, for me, I personally, if I was the manager, I'd be sending Charles Ebuka out to the National League, whether it be North, South, or that top level of the National League. I would certainly be looking at what options are available for him, because for me, he needs to be within that first team picture, understanding what it means to go and win 3 points, what it means for people to have their essentially family lives on the line in those games, because some of those players have the huge differences between how much a win bonus impacts their monthly wage to how much a non-win bonus, essentially. And that's sort of the position that those sort of players need to go and learn. Now, Dejon Brown had that experience at Gateshead. You look at Ben Radcliffe, went and had that experience at Gateshead as well, then went on to join Crawley Town. And you've got a position now with Charles Ebuka where he's in a very, very similar position to where Dejon Brown was when he moved to Gateshead all that time ago. And it is going to be interesting to see how John Eustace and the coaching staff and academy staff do handle it at the club, because it's one of the biggest situations that Derby County have to deal with for me, because Charles Ebuka is a very, very talented individual, and there's a reason why he was at West Ham, and obviously we've picked him up now, which puts us in a great position. And I'm not saying that he's going to go on and be the next Cristiano Ronaldo or the next Erling Haaland, absolutely not. But could he go on and be a top championship scorer? With the right development, I personally do believe so. I think he's shown all the markers to be that sort of player, and I think he's got all the attributes. You look at a couple of his goals during pre-season, bullying Aidan Flint, bullying defenders against Solihull Moors, and looked really, really good against Salzburg as well. And it is going to be interesting to see how it does develop for me over the course of the next few weeks, because he is a player for me who has that potential to step up and play within the first team. But the only issue with that I see is the players that we've got in the squad at the moment, and I don't quite think he currently fits the narrative of what Derby County are trying to do in establishing themselves as a championship club. I think maybe come the end of the season it might be a conversation where he could potentially get opportunities, but ultimately for me it's not something that needs to be done this season. He's still a very, very young prospect with a lot of time ahead of him, and if Derby County get him on a professional deal, then we've got absolutely nothing to worry about. Obviously at the moment no deal has been agreed with Ibuka and in terms of that long-term professional contract, but that'll probably be in conversations right now. We saw a load be announced around March time last year and the previous year in terms of those highly thought of academy prospects. And the important thing for Derby County is making sure that they keep on top of those professional contracts, keep on top of those academy graduates that are going to end up playing for the first team or going to end up playing in the EFL, because there's so many of them from Derby County who, don't get me wrong, not all of them have been at Derby County their entire academy career, just a bit like Charles Ebuka. But you look at someone like Louis Watson, who's currently playing for Crawley, Russian Hepburn Murphy is playing for MK Dons, you've got Ben Radcliffe at Crawley, you've got the likes of Darren Robinson, who's now in Ireland. You've got so many situations which are ongoing behind the scenes with these academy players, and so many of Derby County's former academy prospects playing in the Football League. We've got a couple in the Premier League as well, so it's a massive position that we do find ourselves in. Don't get me wrong, for every positive story there's probably about 10,000 negative ones, but it is a brilliant move for Derby County, and what they've got to do with Charles Ebuka is just make sure that they don't put themselves in a terrible position. Now make sure he goes out on loan, but get him on a professional contract and let's see if he can cook. Dejan Brown at Port Vale, he's got a big role on his hands as well, but will Derby County see the fruits of that next season? You can let me know your thoughts down in the comments if you have not done so already. Make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and turn on that notification bell. Make sure you check out the likes of NordVPN, CD keys, and Kitbag down in the description. CD keys will be labelled as loaded, but make sure you go and check that out as well. And I'll catch you in my next video. Bye bye, guys. Head on over to raffle.com, linked down in the description, so that you can get yourselves into the raffle to win 2 Derby County home tickets or a 2025-26 DCFC kit of your choice. Tickets start at just £1 per ticket, with a range of different bundles available to you, where you can buy 2 tickets, get 2 free, 5 tickets, get 5 free, 10 tickets to get 10 free, and 15 tickets for 15 free. All you need to do is head on over to Derby County's website, get yourself a fan ID. So if you are the winner of this raffle, I can send you over those tickets, and all you have to do is enter a question just a little bit about Jamie Carragher and what club he played at for his entire career. So if you haven't done so already, head on over to raffle.com, linked in the description, so that you can join the raffle for 2 Derby County home tickets or a 2025-26 DCFC kit of your choice.